Two. For Fighting Irish Preview, I'm Phil Houck, and the words bitter cold were used 4 times during a local South Bend forecast this morning. But you know, now that we're out here, it's cold, it's breezy, but it's not quite as breezy as it was a couple weeks ago for Clemson, and it's just not as cold as I thought it might be. So I was prepared for the worst, and I think we're going to be okay for football today. The game time forecast for today, they're calling for 26 degrees at game time and winds at 18 miles an hour. So you obviously get some wind chill involved, but it's just not as bad as it might have been. But we may get snow showers as well during the game. That could make it iconic. So it's cold, but it's not epically cold. And so here are some of my final thoughts before kickoff. If weather is a factor today, I think it helps Notre Dame with their ground game. BC doesn't have a ground game. They are dead last nationally in running the football. And so they have to rely on their passing game. And their passing game is keyed by a freshman who took over for Phil Jerkovic, the former Notre Dame player, a couple weeks ago. Emmett Moorhead, the freshman, a 6'5" freshman. In the last 2 weeks, he's passed for 660 yards and 7 TDs. So he can pass the ball pretty well. Not only that, but he led the Eagles to a upset win last week with a last-second touchdown pass over North Carolina State. So look for that. But the ground game and the papers here, because of the wind, as you can see, as my notes are going everywhere. And those passes, the other thing we have to mention is Zay Flowers, who's the sensational wide receiver for Boston College. He's a senior. 67 catches, 921 yards, 10 touchdowns, speed to burn. Notre Dame will have to account for him on every play. And it's senior day, and that's another thing to think about. Some of the players who will be seeing their final game for the Irish today include Isaiah Foskey, Jarrett Patterson, Braden Lenzy, who made the sensational catch last week, amazing catch. Those are among the players. I think there's 24 or 25 that'll walk, as they say, before the game for their last game. You know, another guy who's playing his last game who's not a senior, that is Michael Mayer. This will be his last game in Notre Dame Stadium. Undoubtedly, he'll be in the NFL at this time next year. Senior day can be emotional. It is emotional. It's not can be anything. And that can work against you. We have seen sluggish starts by the Irish on senior days in the past because of that emotion. So that's something that the Irish are going to need to guard against, is that emotional high. Keep that a little even. Come out fast, hopefully. That's something to look for. And now, the Fighting Irish Preview pick. You know, I like the fact that BC is a one-dimensional team offensively. That's going to allow they don't run the ball well. So that allows the Notre Dame pass rush, I think, to pin their ears back and just go for it today. So I like to see the pass rush today. I think a good pass rush for the Irish, undoubtedly. Maybe Isaiah Foskey gets that school record-setting sack today. He's got 26. He needs one more to set the school record. And I also like the Irish ground game on a windy day too. If they got a ground and pound, they can do that today. So, those different things. This pick that I'm going to give you is a little different from what you may have seen earlier in the week on the internet, but because of the weather, I've adjusted it down a little bit. My pick, Notre Dame 31, BC 14. Notre Dame 31, BC 14. And for Fighting Irish Preview, I'm Phil Houck, and I will talk to you after the game.